Good morning. Good morning. So I wanted to come in and wish you a very happy December. I wanted to let you know that there is a video or two on the YouTube channel. If you've missed them, you might want to check them out. But most importantly, I want to share with you a couple of important energy tips and some information that is coming through. So December is a different energy than November for sure. So many of you are probably already feeling that sense that there's a little bit of, although the energy is continuing to be fast moving, a little bit of the intensity is starting to wane because we are feeling the energy of expansion around us. So I wanted to just remind you that we have a beautiful new moon and a solar eclipse coming up this weekend. So that makes this week, as well as the beginning of next week, very powerful in terms of letting go. And so, one of the aspects that is coming forward for us is this opportunity to really release. And so I invite you to go deep into your psyche, your mental thoughts and your conditioning, as well as deep into your emotions, deep into your heart. And let Spirit know, let the universe know that you are ready to release anything that is holding you back or keeping your vibration lower than what it needs to be. So lower than joy and happiness and unconditional love, because the energy can really catapult you into a new space and time, a new way of rooting yourself if you allow it to. So we want to invite the universal energy and the frequencies to come and work with us in that way. So the caveat to that is when we invite that in, anything in our life that is not for our highest good starts to get jiggled or get wiggled. And so this can create disruption, right? As new opportunity of a different frequency comes toward us and opens us, we also have to take a look at the things that are currently happening in our life or that we are currently buying into, giving our attention to, that perhaps isn't necessarily in our highest good any longer. And so there's a shifting that happens, right? We have to ebb and flow through things. And if our awareness is not on what it is that we are being called to let go of or to make adjustments to and shift, it can get really uncomfortable. So I want to just inspire you to, if things get challenging, if things get uncomfortable, if you feel out of sorts, to see if you can't set some time aside, even if it's just a moment or two, to really go inward and identify with it. Ask yourself really hard questions about the truth of what it is that you are being called to dismantle or shift or let go of or change. We have a dynamic energy that is available to us for this month as we move towards solstice to really help us to let go of these things that are working against us. So when we're not in the flow, we receive challenge and overwhelm and irritability. And so that's natural. And we often, as humans, tend to fight that. We resist that. And so the invitation right now is to, rather than resist, to identify with how can we be in greater flow with something that's going to open us up to opportunity that we can't see yet. And so we want to invite that in. And again, the best way to do that is to try to spend periodic time in solitude, whether that is through guided meditation, deep breathing, being out in nature. Those are some fairly simple ways that we can get in touch with ourselves and with our higher power. So again, the inspiration here is to take a look at our challenges as being motivations to shift us and change us into a place of greater expansion and a place of higher vibration, a place where we can be at greater peace within ourselves. So if we see turmoil coming towards us, or we find ourselves in the middle of drama, we're being asked to really pull ourselves out of that temporarily, so that we can identify with how we can shift to have less of that in our life, right? And have more abundance, more peace. So sometimes this calls for our mental mind to have some shifts, and to really wrap our heads around the possibility that this is even possible for us, because we've lived it so long. And one of my favorite tools for support around this is the essential oil rosemary. So rosemary is very good at helping us to break through mental traps, mental belief patterns that are really stuck and stagnant. I find rosemary to be super helpful when we get our thoughts entrained or trapped in a certain space. Rosemary can often bring in enough element of air to breathe life in, and help us to feel less stuck and less stagnant in those mental aspects of ourselves. So that's the first tool. In terms of finding solitude or inner peace, one of my favorite tools from doTERRA is this, the blend called Immortelle. So Immortelle is phenomenal. I use it a lot during meditation. But if you don't have Immortelle, some of the oils that are in this blend that you can reach for include frankincense and myrrh and lavender. They are great tools to also help you feel grounded and connected to the earth that sustains life for us, and also grounded and connected into your soul. And so more than ever, the message I'm going to leave you with as we close out this live video is that you are being given permission, ultimate permission, to follow what is deeply rooted in your heart, and to follow what it is that you are being nudged. So what are those repetitive thoughts that bring joy or happiness or a longing because you've wanted to experience that for so long? You have permission to follow that. Just let spirit know you're on board. That's what you want. That's what you desire, and you're committed to that, because it takes two aspects to manifest and create. We co-create with spirit. We don't just, things don't just happen to us. We are co-creating them through our feelings and our thoughts, and through that joining of forces with that higher power, or with the energy and the frequency around us. And so we have the full green light to move forward into those spaces that are going to help us to cultivate greater joy, greater creativity, greater inner peace. So let's take advantage of that first and foremost. And lastly, it is this personal spiritual responsibility that we take, this commitment to our own growth and evolution that's going to mirror out back into the world and make the shifts, the necessary shifts in humanity as a whole and in consciousness as a whole, to create that divine peace that I think we're all searching for, if you happen to be in this group and hearing this message. So with that, again, happy holidays, happy December, and let's make the most of this time as we move towards a very powerful winter solstice and a shift from our west direction of the medicine wheel into the north direction of the medicine wheel. And there's more to come on that soon. All right, be well, have an amazing day, and thanks so much for being here.